What is Search Console? Search Console, or as is known as Google Webmaster Tool. Initially, it used to be known as a Webmaster Tool. What is a webmaster and who is a webmaster? You yourself are the webmasters to your own respective websites. I am the webmaster of Whitehead Ways. Kunal is the webmaster of bcrooks.com. So it is a tool which is meant for the webmasters, and that is why it was known as Google Webmaster Tool. Over the period of time, the name of this particular tool, Webmaster Tool, has been changed to Search Console. However, the look and the feel, most of it is the same, and the functions are altogether the same. It is a tool meant for the webmasters to assist the webmaster in knowing particular details pertaining to his website. Who is coming and who is typing which kind of queries, that he is coming to your website, where is he coming from, and you there are several messages which are error messages, or maybe some kind of issues with respect to your websites, which Google is gonna tell you through this particular tool. You can also get to know whether your website is mobile friendly. It can very well be used by on the mobile. You can also get to know various kinds of errors, any security issues. You can submit your URL, whatever the post that you have created. That URL of that particular post can be submitted over here for that particular post to be crawled as well as indexed. Fine. So we are gonna see everything in detail. The first step that we need to do to use this particular tool is going to be attaching this particular tool along with our website. Why? Because it is the website's data only that is gonna show up in Search Console. It is gonna be really helpful for the webmasters to check where is the website going actually. Fine. And you would get to know various kinds of impressions, how many impressions in how much time, how many clicks, what is the CTR, what is the performance of your website, is your website user friendly, any errors, security issues, mobile usability related issues, coverage issues, whether it has been indexed properly or not. So all this kind of data is gonna show up in this particular tool, and that is why it is known as Webmasters tool. Fine. The first step, as I told you, is gonna be attaching this with our website, because we need to prove first of all to Google that we are the genuine users of our website, so that nobody else can actually get into our webmaster tool. So we need to initially prove to Google that we are the genuine owners of our own website, and for that to happen we have to prove our ownership to Google. Fine. So the first step would be to go to the Google and find Search Console. So just open another tab. So just open another tab. So you'll go to Google and type Search Console. Now just click on the first link. Now just click on Start Now. Now, as I told you, we have to prove our ownership to Google. There are various ways. There are various ways through which we can do this. I'll tell you the easiest most way, which is through the Yoast plugin. Yoast plugin, you all know what is a Yoast plugin and what is the purpose of a Yoast plugin. It will help you do your SEO. So this is one of the part of SEO only, that you have to be getting into the search console to get to see your performance as a website holder. So you are given this privilege of proving your ownership to Google with the help of Yoast, through the Yoast plugin itself. So all you need to do is just punch in your website address, including the HTTPS, in the second column and not in the first column. So URL prefix column. So just put your website's URL including HTTPS. So now it is checking for the ownership, and as it is, the ownership is not verified as of now. So what we are gonna do is we are gonna go down, just go down a bit, and just grab HTML tag. So just go to HTML tag, and just click on copy. There's a copy button. Yeah, so just click over here. Now just get into your website's backend, and go to plugins, add new. Sorry, you need to go to installed plugins. So go to installed plugins and go to Yoast.
सर मैंने नहीं कर रखा।
So in that case, you would need to add the plugin first of all. So click on add new. You will install Yoast. Install now. So all of you must have already installed this plugin Yoast. So those of you who have not may install it right away, and just follow the procedure. It is very easy to prove the ownership through this way. Though other ways are also very easy. You can prove it through Tag Manager. You can prove it to Google Analytics, and Google Analytics and Tag Manager, as it is, we are gonna do in the times to come. Both of which are very important. So any which ways you can do that, but this is one of the very easy ways, extremely easy. So that is why I'm just taking you through this particular manner, and just install it. Click on activate. So just come a bit down, and you have the Yoast plugin installed, and you can see it over here. It's already installed, and it is coming under your plugins, the installed plugins. And then just click on settings. Go to Webmaster Tools. See, they have created a particular button also over here, so that you can directly land up into the Webmaster Tools. And I told you these are two different names for the same thing, which is Google Search Console. So now all you have to do is, yeah. So under the Google verification code, just put that code and just click on Save Changes. So now they have already given you a place wherein you just need to simply insert this one line of code, whereby it will recognize you that you are the website owner. Google's search console is gonna recognize you by checking your website whether this line of code is there on your website or not. By putting this one line of code into the Yoast plugin, you have made sure that this particular one-liner code gets inserted into your website at the same very place where it needs to. So even if you are not a programmer and you don't know nothing about coding, you just simply are submitting this particular code to Yoast, saying that please put it at the same very place where it is required to be put, because I don't know it. You put it wherever it is required. So you have just submitted the code to Yoast. Yoast is then gonna place it at any place wherever it is required to be put. Fine. Now just go back to Search Console and just click on verify. So now it should say ownership verified. And what does that mean? It is coming in the green color. It means that your ownership with Search Console has been verified and you are proved that you are the owner of this particular website. Now I would start popping up the data in within your Search Console account, which is pertaining to bcrooks.com. Now just click on done, and you just click on the three lines in the left hand side top, and just click on search property. Click on bcrooks.com. Can you just mute it, Kunal? I think there is a problem from your end. There is some background noise. Fine. So this is how you would gain the access to your Search Console account. Fine. This is how easy it is to gain access to your Search Console account, and you are given this particular dashboard, which will basically tell you about the performance, the coverage related issues. You can submit the sitemap. A lot of stuff that you can get to see over here. You can even see the data pertaining to the links, who is giving the backlink to your website, who is linking to your website is also you can get to know through this particular tool. Even it would tell you which is the word or the anchor text which has been used to create such a link. So we are gonna come to all these kind of things. It is very interesting, but the only factor is that as of now we have created a linkage between the website and the Search Console or the webmaster tools. Fine. Now just click on start. Just click on start. So Kunal is asking, sir, what is backlink? I will get back to the backlink, Kunal. Backlink is something that is very crucial for your search engine optimization. Backlink gains 70% of the entire SEO activities. So backlink is altogether a huge concept. Off-page SEO, what we call it as off-page SEO, is all about backlink creation and the techniques of creating the backlinks. So whatever is on page is 30%. It gains 30% importance in SEO. Major chunk of the SEO is about creation of the backlinks. And what are backlinks? Backlinks basically are the incoming links to my website. If some other website is pointing to my website through a particular link, that link on that particular website which is pointing to my website and which is taking their traffic from their website to my website, that particular link which is prevailing on their website is known as backlink. So we are gonna come to that particular thing, and just अभी आप ये देखिए कि what is let's learn about the Search Console first of all. So is the process of creating a linkage between the Search Console and your website, is it clear? Any confusion between how to create a linkage between the Search Console and your website? Any confusion in that till now? Guys, is there any confusion till now?
No,
Just
sir.
give it in chat at least. Just give it to me in chat if there is any confusion uh, regarding how to create a linkage between Search Console and your website. Gautam, is it clear? Gautam, uh, Neha, Anand. Fine. So we are going to proceed further. So basically, as you can see, guys, this is going to be the dashboard. This is going to be the dashboard. This is going to be the dashboard or the place wherein we would get to see all the data regarding the performance of my website. How is my website performing? How many are the impressions that my posts are gaining or my website is gaining? How many are the clicks which my websites is gaining? What is the CTR? And you by now know what is CTR, clicks oblique impression into 100. What and that is what the formula for CTR is. So impressions, clicks, and CTR is what you would come to know about it, and various other things. Where is it performing well? Which country is it performing well? How many people are coming to your website? You Are there any coverage related issues? Are all the pages of my website indexed, or there are still pages which are not indexed? You would be able to submit a site map also in this particular place. What is a site map? It is basically like a map. Like, what does a map help you with? Map helps you in navigation. If you go to a particular sector, the map is going to tell you which place in that particular sector is located where. So similar is the case with sitemap. A sitemap basically assists the crawlers, the Google crawlers, to locate what is located in your website over where. Fine. So they will help the crawlers crawl through your website in a very smoother manner, in a very smooth manner. So that is why site maps are also submitted over here. Removals, there is a section for removals. In case you want to remove some page from being shown on Google Search Console, you can do that. There is a place wherein you can get to see which all are the websites which are pointing through backlinks to my website. Which all are the words that they are using, onto which, when somebody clicks, takes the user to your website. So those are known as anchor text. So it would tell you great information about backlinks. If there are any security related issues, it would tell you under the security section. As you can see, there is a security and manual action section. Fine. So all this data is gonna pop up over here. It will be populated over here. It is not populated as of now. Why? Because your account is a very fresh account. It is a fresh account. So for all the good reasons, nothing is showing up over here. But over the period of time, maybe in a day or two, you will have the entire set of data coming over here, and you would be able to check it out on your own, whether are you proceeding in the right direction as far as your website is concerned, or there is some problem. So Gautam is asking, but sir, link verify nahi hua mera. So no worries, Gautam. What you can do is you can just share the screen, and we are gonna verify the link. That ways, at least what will happen is that other people will still get to see it once again. I know the process is a bit tedious, but still, in case it is not happening, I'll. Okay, so now he's confirmed that ho gaya. So let's move ahead, and let's see the data. Now the data for your accounts obviously is not going to populate, so we will go to my search console, and we will get to see the data over there in my search console account, because for you it will still take another day or two, and then there won't be that much of the data. So I'm just taking you to my screen. This is my account for Search Console. You know my website. My website's name is Whiteheadways. I hope you've already had a look at my website, or at least you know what kind of website do I hold. What is the motive behind creating of Whiteheadways? I hope by now you are clear. So, are you able to see the screen, guys? Is my screen visible? Okay. The first screen that you come on when you come to Search Console is gonna be the overview screen. Fine. So what is gonna be the overview screen and what would it tell? Now, as you can see, there are different bars, and there are a different kind of. There's a chart that is coming on the first page, and what does that signify? First of all, it signifies the number of impressions and the number of clicks that I am getting, basically. So, as you can see, that on 19th of July, I got 3 clicks. Fine. My results got 3 clicks. I have put a few posts. I have a few blogs that are there in White Hat Ways, because of which I got 3 clicks on 19th of July. Moving on to the next date, 20th of July, I got 1 click, and 21st of July, I got again 1 click. Fine. And then on Friday, which is 24th of July, I got 4 clicks. Now let's see which was the day when I got the 5 clicks, which is 6th of August. As you can see, it is rising pretty high over here. So 5 clicks I got on 6th of August. Then again on 8th of August, I got 3 clicks, and you can see the data. There are times when I am not getting any click. So you can see from 26th of August till, you can see, 1st of September. So these are around 7 days. Throughout these 7 days, I have not got any click, and the entire set of period remains with 0 clicks. Then I move on to 11th of September. Again, I got 2 clicks, and as you can see, on 13th of October, it is 1 click, and 15th again 1 click, and 16th also 1 click. So this is telling me how many clicks am I getting as far as my website is concerned. What is the performance of the website? This is just an overview screen. Now in within this entire period, 54 total web search clicks are generated over here. Now I click on open report, and when I click on the open report, what happens is I am taken to the performance section. From the overview section, I come onto the performance section, but let me be here on the overview screen only for a while now. So I'll just move back to overview screen, and let me see is the coverage. So what is coverage? Coverage means how many pages of my website are indexed. So, and it will also tell you that, if there is some error as far as the coverage goes, is there any page that has still not been indexed due to some problem? So if at all there is some problem, then we have to resolve it. But as of now, you can see that there is 0 pages with any error. So there is no error as of now. Again, if I click it over here onto the open report, I'll be transferred to the same very section, which will be the next section, which is going to be performance. So I'm not going to open the report as of now. Let me go down. This is just an overview. What is an overview? Overview is basically the gist of the entire section, which is coming down below. So whenever the word overview would come, it would also come in the Google Analytics also. So the overview means that it is the gist, it is the summary of the entire section which is coming down below. So as of now, we are seeing just the overview screen. All these things are again gonna come in a much more expanded form or elaborated form in the section down below. Fine. So let's move on to the enhancements, and it tells me any mobile usability issues, any products related issues. If I put any products, then it would be products also that will be shown that your products has these kind of issues. Rich snippets issues, no rich snippet issues. I'm gonna tell you what are rich snippets. In fact, we have a particular section in SEO itself which to create rich snippets. Fine. So as of now, you can leave it apart. Site link search box, So in this case, any search box, you have a search box down there within your website wherein people can search. So any issues with that? So as of now, everything is seemingly good enough. Now let's move on to the next section, which is the performance. So this was the overview section. Now we are going to move to the performance section. Now let us see the performance of the website. Now, first of all, what is the search type over here? The search type over here is web. If I want to change it, I can change it to image, because there are image searches also. You know that there are image searches also. In within Google also there are images that you can search for. Fine. However, I am more concerned about the web rather than videos or images or the news. So let me just stay with web, because these are very subsidiary issues. The only main issue is that of the web. So search type is gonna be web, and the period that I am gonna consider over here is 3 months. So in within the 3 months time, how many clicks have I got? I have got 54 clicks out of these many impressions. So you can see the CTR is going 3.1. How would you calculate the CTR? Total clicks oblique total impressions into 100. So 54 divided by 1.72k into 100 is gonna give the figure as 3.1%. Fine. So CTR is this, which is 3.1%. Average position. So where am I landing on the average position? I am landing on the 7th page. Why 7th page? Every page has 10 organic search results. You can see it on Google search engine results page. Every page has 10 search results which are organic. So from that perspective, you can analyze that I am coming on the 7th page. Fine. So I'm coming on the 7th page. The CTR is 3.1, pretty low. Average CTR is 3.1, which is actually very low. Total impressions are 1.72k. Total clicks are just 54 in within these last 3 months. So I need to be really working hard. This is a new website apparently. However, still I have a lot of stuff to do, because the total clicks are very meager in amount. Fine. Now let's move down. So coming down, I can see that how many impressions on 19th of July were, and how many clicks I got in lieu of those impressions. So I got 3 clicks in lieu of 56 impressions. Similarly, coming on to the next date, which is 24th of July, I can see that in lieu of 12 impressions, I got 4 clicks. Fine. So in within July, it was still okay kind of thing. In Even in August also it was okay. In lieu of 23 impressions, I got 5 clicks, which is good. But over the period of last few months, September and October, I am not doing well, is what I can gauge out of this particular report. Date on date, you can see on 8th of September there are 3 impressions and I got 0 click. Every date on 12th of September, again 8 impressions, I got 0 click. So you can see I am getting very less of the clicks. So Kunal is asking, sir, what is an impression? So what is an impression? So I'll just share another tab to show you what is an impression. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Yeah. So moving on to Google. What is this? What is digital marketing? What is that? That is a search query or a search term. What is digital marketing is a search query or a search term. Fine. Now, all these are ads which are coming over here. He's saying search query. So you can call it search query or search term interchangeably. Now, these are Google ads. And what are these getting actually? Blog, HubSpot, Desra, then Upgrad, Marketo, Neil Patel. What are these? These are all impressions, be it of an ad and or be it of an organic result. These are all the impressions. Wikipedia has got one impression, Neil Patel has got one impression over here, and similarly Marketo has got one impression, HubSpot has got one impression, Desera has got one impression, Upgrade has got one impression. Though these are ads, still they are getting an impression. Impression means appearance. Anything that is appearing in front of you is an impression. Now, out of these impression, let's say I get aroused out of Neil Patel's result, which is digital marketing made simple, a step-by-step guide. Why I got aroused seeing this result is because of the headline or maybe the description which is coming over here. I read this and I thought that this is gonna be the apt result, so I give it a click. So I click it. Now what is that? Now, how many impressions did Neil Patel got? Impression was one. And what was the number of click? The click was also one. However, when you see it from other competitors' point of view, how many impressions did Wikipedia get? How many impressions did Wikipedia get? Wikipedia got one impression. But did Wikipedia get a click? Did Wikipedia get a click? No, it got a zero click. So this is how impressions and clicks are calculated. So they are calculated in terms of 100. So let's say there are 100 people, giving an, different search queries, because of which Wikipedia is appearing in front of them. This particular, result is appearing in front of all of them. Out of these 100 people, two of them click. So what is the number of impressions? 100. And what is the number of clicks? 2. So what is going to be the click-through rate? It is going to be again 2%. So that is how the click-through rate is calculated. Clicks oblique impressions into 100. Fine. And that is what is being shown over here. So you need to have a good CTR. Unless you have a good CTR, it would obviously be bad in front of Google, because Google is giving you an impression every now and then. However, people are not wishing to click on you. So obviously what would come up in the mind of Google, that I am giving the impression to them but people are not clicking, so there has to be some problem with this result. Let me throw it on the second page or maybe the third page. So that is why you need to get clicks in lieu of the impressions. If you are not getting clicks in lieu of the impression, that obviously portrays something bad about you. So wherever the impression are coming, you need to have clicks also coming by. So that is why click-through rate has been invented, so that you can get to know how many clicks am I getting in lieu of how many impressions. Fine. So in this case, I can date on date, I can tell that how many clicks in lieu of how many impressions am I getting, and I can get to know what could be the click-through rate. So in this case, on 16th of August, what is going to be the click-through rate? It is going to be 2/3 into 100. On 16th of August, the click-through rate is gonna be 2/3 into 100. So it will be 2/3 into 100, and you can calculate it. That is gonna be the click-through rate of 16th of August. Am I clear till now? Am I clear to all?
Yes, sir.
So let's move further. Now, let's say I don't want to see it for last 3 months. So what am I gonna do? I can just click over here and change the date range. So if I have a customized date range, let's say I have a few dates through which I need to search it for, I can put the dates, selecting the dates from here. So let's say 19th of July till let's suppose 19th of August, and then I'm gonna click on apply. So the date range is changed over here. 19th of July till 19th of August, full 1 month, and I can get to see how my performance was. And you could apparently could see that in within this period the performance was actually good. You could see that through the mere glance on that particular chart. Could you make it out that the performance was good for this particular period of time? It went bad later on, maybe in the month of August and September, rather September and October it went bad, but in within this time frame it was still better off. So you can see that out of those 54 clicks I got 37 in within this particular period only, and the total number of impressions were quite good, 495 in lieu of the clicks. And you can see that the average CTR is 7.5, where I was in the previous instance it was somewhere 3. So obviously it is a better off position. So I can confidently say that I was doing better off in within this period rather than the September and October months. And my average position again was 50.2, while in the earlier case it was 60.1. So again I'm landing on 6th page over here, while I'm landing on 7th page now. So the performance has deteriorated over the period of time rather than getting better. Fine. And you can see that from the mere glance only, that the performance, how is it performing your website, how is it performing your blogs, how are they performing, and you can make it out in this particular manner. So these are the total number of clicks I click. If I click over here, I am only left with impressions. So as you can see, now I am only left with impressions. So in case I just want to check out the total number of impressions and I'm not concerned with the clicks, I can just stop it from here. Similarly, if I want to just see the clicks, I can just click here and I'm only left with clicks. So let's say I don't want to see how many impressions in lieu of the clicks over there, so I can just simply click here and just switch it off, and now I can just see how many clicks I got on which date. Now let me click on new button now. So as you can see, there is a new button over here, the plus sign. Now let's say that there are a few queries over here which people have been actually looking for. In lieu of those queries, my results also appeared in front of them, is what it is showing over here. What are search queries? Search queries are those queries which people or the audiences are searching for in the search engine, that is Google in this case. So people are looking with these kind of search queries, people are typing them, and in lieu of their queries, my posts, because of the keywords that my post might be having, are coming in front of them. So now I can gauge that what people are looking for. So people are looking for white cap online, and because of this particular search query, my result somehow has popped up in front of them. Though I am nowhere related to white cap online, I am not selling white caps online, but since I have white hat, so somewhere down the line that keywords might have matched, and my result might have come in front of such a user who is typing white cap online as the search query in the search engine, which is Google in this case. Similarly, coming to the next query, white hat inbound marketing. This is the query that somebody had put, and in lieu of this kind of a query, my result had popped up. Again, somebody had put white HA, that is it, and my result popped up. Though I am not getting any clicks, you can see the number of clicks over here. I am not getting any clicks in lieu of such search queries. Digital Marketing Institute in Gurgaon is a search query somebody might have typed in Google, because of which again I got an impression. And if you get into my website whitehatways.com, you will get to see a blog which is solely created on this particular topic, which is Digital Marketing Institutes in Gurgaon, and the title is like that, Digital Marketing Institute in Gurgaon. So obviously it has those kind of keywords also, and the same kind of keywords, Digital Marketing Institute in Gurgaon. So those keywords might have matched up with this query, which is Digital Marketing Institute in Gurgaon, which is appearing over here. And because of that, my this particular article might have popped up as an impression in front of them, but then I did not get a click because the clicks again are zero over here. Again, Search Engine Optimization Institute in Gurgaon, again it's a query, but I did not get a click, though my results popped up in front of the user. I was getting an impression, but I never got a click. So all these are the ones which are appearing. If I just increase the number of days, it will tell all the search queries which are coming by. So you can see why digital marketing is important. This is one of the query which I got. Now from here, what is the use of this section? Now from here, what am I getting is, and what I can gauge is, that why digital marketing is important is something people are looking for. This is the search query. People are looking for something like that. People are typing it in Google search engine. Obviously they have something arousing them to type it, and obviously they are craving to find the information that why digital marketing is important. So what can I do? I can make a blog onto this particular topic, maybe, because I from here can now know that why digital marketing is important is something people are looking for. So this is something that where the traction lies. This is something that people are wanting to know. So why not I create a blog onto this particular topic? Because what is the sole idea of me creating a website? It is to get the traffic only. Then why not create a topic which is actually people wanting to know of? So that is what I am getting it from this particular section, is that these are the trends which people are looking for, and I can obviously imbibe them in within my website, because as it is I want to have a traffic, and traffic would come through these keywords only, these search queries only, which I would put it as a keyword, or maybe I make a blog out of them, because this is what people are looking for. How to be a good marketeer is what people are looking for. So I can make a topic and I can create a blog onto this particular topic also. Digital Marketing Training Institute is what people are looking forward to. Duplicate content SEO, website designing Gurgaon is what somebody is looking for. Best digital marketing agency for colleges in India, web development Gurgaon. So from here I can get to see the trends of the people, what people are actually looking for, and I can put such trends and create such topics in within my website, so that people can come and visit my website and obviously become my followers, and start following me. Search metrics, SEO visibility. So all these are the topics which I need to know of, because I just imagine a scenario. I'm just creating topics, and I'm creating lots and lots of blogs, but people are not wanting to read such blogs. People are not interested in reading such blogs. So what is the use? I would not get any traffic out of that. Where from would I get that traffic? I would only get it through those topics which people are interested in knowing, and these are the topics. So am I clear what is the use of search queries, and why do we need to know the search queries? See, Google updates 2017 is what people want to know. So I need to create a topic on this. So is it clear what is the use of search queries? Why to find the search queries in within Search Console, and how to find the search queries in within Search Console? Are you guys clear on that? Yeah. So these are the queries. Fine. Now let's say that I want to filter the queries which have white in them. I'm just imagining a scenario that I want to just filter all those queries which have the word white in them. Fine. So I'll click over here on the plus sign, go to query. So query containings, this is the filter, guys. So this is the filter. I'm going to put a filter, and what the keyword is white. So white. So I'll just put white over here, and I'll click on apply. So as you can see, now the filter is put over here, query is white. What does that signify? Because of such queries which had the word white in them, I got 57 impressions, but I never got any click out of them, which is okay. And I landed on average position 83.8. Now, what would the queries have? All the queries that would appear down below would have the word white in them. See, all the queries which have the word white in them are appearing over here now. So I am filtering. What does a filter do actually? Filter does the filtration task. So anything that you don't require, you just filter it out. And you want to gain the crux, whatever you want to gain, whatever you want to see, whatever concrete you want to see, you get it out of filtration. So that is what is happening over here. You are filtering the queries with the word white. So any query which has the word white would be appearing and nothing else, and that is why all these queries are coming over here. Now if you want, you can put the word digital over here. So I'll go to new again, and then go to query containing digital. So what will happen? I'll click on apply. So you will get to see that the data is, I got 75 impressions, and during this particular period, which is 19th of July till 19th of August, and the filtration query is digital. So obviously everything that has digital in that particular query would be appearing it over here. And you can see all these are the queries which have the word digital into them. And again, I got 0 clicks, which is bad, but that is how it is. Fine. So this is how you can search. In case I want to search it vice versa. So what will I do? I'll go to queries not containing white. Let's say not containing white. So what will happen is all the queries which do not have the word white in them are going to appear, and it is the data pertaining to all the queries which do not have the word white. So all those queries which are appearing up above at the top, which had the word white, are no more appearing over here, for all the good reasons, because we are this time seeing white as a negative query. You can see the negative sign appearing over here. Initially it was plus sign. So negative means every query which has the word white, just check it out of the results. Similarly, just click on new query. You can go ahead and compare between two kind of queries: exact query, this exact query, and this exact query. So you can take the two queries and get to see the data pertaining to them, and you can actually see how are they both performing as far as the performance of the website goes, the clicks and impressions go. So if you remember, I have two kind of queries over here. One is DigiPerform, that is appearing it over here, and there was Digital Vidya query also. So I can basically compare between both the terms and get to see their data. So as far as I remember, the query was, so I'll just click on compare. I'll write Digi perform over here and dot digital vidya.com. So I hope the queries are matching. Though just out of the mere glance, can I make it out that these were the queries? So you can see, you can now compare the data pertaining to both the results. So Digi Perform and Digital Vidya, I got two impressions when somebody typed DigiPerform as the search query, and I got two impressions when I got when somebody typed Digital Vidya. So you can see the average positions, and this is how you can compare between the search queries also to get to see which one is better off. But then none of them, both of them are into digital marketing training only, and both of them are quite good institutes. So nothing at all is concrete for me at least. But then I could gauge it out that both the queries were there. Similar to queries, you can go to pages also. So I just want to know what is the performance of this particular page of my website. So let me take a page from my website and then get to see what are the results like. So I'll just go to wide ad ways. So this is the website. So I'm clicking on the website, and let me take a page. So I have gone into the see. This is the blog I was talking about. Best Digital Marketing Institute in Gurgaon. The first blog is that only, and you can see, that is why, because it has those kind of keywords: Digital Marketing Institute in Gurgaon, Digital Marketing Institute in Gurgaon. Quite a lot of time it is repeated, and that is why it triggered a search query, and it gave me an impression. Now at least you should be able to make it out. So this was the actual blog which got me quite a lot of impressions, and you would have seen it also over there. So a URL containing, or so I'll just take this part of the URL to get to see the data pertaining to this particular page. So URL containing, so my URL is containing all these words, and I will just put it over here and click on apply. So as you can see, the page which has the URL which contains best digital marketing, and in this particular format, for I got 144 impressions for this particular page, and I got just one click. The CTR obviously is 1 oblique 144 into 100, 1 divided by 144 into 100, which is very less, 0.7%. Average position, again, I'm landing on the 9th page, and this is how it is. I just got an impression and a click on on 16th of August. On 16th of August, I got one click on this particular page, and that is it. So from here you can make it out. And what were the queries like? You can get to see all these are the queries which had triggered this page in front of the people. So all these are the queries: best digital marketing institute, best digital marketing institute in Gurgaon, content writer Gurgaon, DigiPerform Gurgaon. DigiPerform, imagine DigiPerform is a competitor. I would not say even a competitor, but then again, it is a competitor only per se. But it is also giving an impression to my blog. And best digital marketing institute, DigiPerform again, digital marketing institutes, learn digital marketing. So I can get to see all the search queries which are giving an impression to this page of mine with the URL which is this one, which is Digital Marketing Institute in Gurgaon, the best digital marketing institute in Gurgaon. And this is going to be the entire URL, whiteheadways.com/best digital marketing institutes in Gurgaon. So all those search queries which are bringing traffic to my page, which is this page, I can get to know through Search Console, and this is how I would get to know of that. Again, I click on plus sign, page. So again, it has exact URL. So you can go ahead and type exact URL also. In that case, what would you do? You will just type the entire URL. In that case, you will just take it from here, Control C, and what you're gonna do is you are just gonna type the exact URL over here, which is this. So this is the exact URL. So in case you want to go in for the exact URL, that would also be perfect. Apply and see. Again, the data that populated is the same, only because obviously you have the same URL. It's just this. So in case you want to check it out for any other page of yours, maybe about me. So again, you're gonna just take the URL from here, go to performance, just get rid out of this through the cancel sign, click on plus, page, URL containing, or exact URL, whichever thing you want, and this is how you're gonna do this. So you get that, on the about page also I got one click, but then I got 51 impressions, which is making my CTR to 1/51 into 100. So obviously it is coming out to be 2%, which is obviously low. And it also tells me that on 1st of August I got one click. And these all are the queries which have triggered that particular click or the impressions, which is why it had inbound marketing. Am I clear till now, guys? Any confusion till now? Any confusion? Okay, so moving on to the plus sign once again. Let's see the countries. So where from am I getting the traffic? As I told you in the very beginning, it will also tell you which country is contributing to the traffic. So in this case, we have considered India, but let's say I just want to check it out for Pakistan. So I can just go ahead and click on apply. Maybe I'll just make it for last 3 months and click on apply. So from Pakistan, I just got one click, and that was on this particular day, which is 24th of July, and it was a Friday, and I got one click from Pakistan out of the 34 impressions that I got in Pakistan over these last 3 months. So 34 impressions, one click, average CTR. You can get to know that in Pakistan it is 2.9. Again, I'm landing on the 8th page. So this is how you can find it out for various countries also. Again, clicking onto the plus sign, country. Let me see it for United States. So I'll just click over here, apply, and I again can see that one click only out of the 128 impressions in the last 3 months. Average CTR 0.8% and average position. Again, I'm landing on the 8th page. I can also compare between the countries. So I'll click on plus sign, page, plus sign, and then country, and maybe India is already there. Sorry, India is already there. Plus sign, country, compare. So India versus United States, and I'll click on apply and see. There is a comparison between both the countries, and for all the obvious reasons, India is far ahead of United States in terms of clicks, in terms of impressions, in terms of average CTR, and in terms of average position as well. So India is the one that I should ideally be targeting, and I am targeting rather. And you can see all the queries which are coming. You can see that which type of automated bidding strategy is target cost per acquisition. Which type of automated bidding strategies target cost per acquisition is somebody who is actually typing into Google, and imagine that I can create a content onto this particular thing, because this is what people are actually typing in the Google search bar, and this is what people are looking forward to. So I can might as well create a topic, or maybe just add it as a FAQ section in within a huge topic. There's another query which is appearing, which is which type of automated bidding strategies enhanced cost per click. So again, this is from where actually I'm trying to gauge where are the people inquisitive, and where from the people would come to my website, what would they come looking for to my website. See, people are typing so big queries, and I told you the relevance of long tail keywords. So see, these are all the long tail keywords. People do type questions, the entire questions in within the search bar. And which factors should an advertiser consider when deciding on a bidding strategy? Which factors should an advertiser consider when deciding on a bidding strategy? So somebody is typing the entire sentence. So this is how people type. You never can guess what are the typing patterns of the people. You can never be able to guess it, and that is why it is always a good practice to even find it out from your family and friends, rather than just vouching upon the keyword planners, SEMrush, SpyFu, and various kinds of keyword planners like keywords.io, keyword shitter. Don't go for them only. Try asking your friends and family, how would you search for this particular query? If you are searching for this particular query, you would tend to get a lot many ideas. So nobody can guess that people are typing questions, such huge questions into the bar. So then let's move on to the next plus sign. Let's move on to the device. So you can get to see the patterns, how people are reacting through mobile phone, desktop, and through the tablet. So let me find out for the desktop. So I will just click on apply, and the data that I'll have is for the desktop. Let me get away with this particular comparison and have it entirely for all the countries. And now it's for all the countries joint data, but only secluded to desktops, because I have gotten rid with the countries part and the comparison part. So I can see that a lot of people and a lot of impressions are coming on the desktop, and a lot of clicks have also happened to the desktop. Similarly, I can also see it for the mobile devices. I'll click on device, mobile. Again, I can just click on apply, and this is the data for the mobile phones. 388 impressions, 28 clicks. I can again go ahead and compare between both the things by going to compare mobile versus desktop. Again, I'll click on apply, and you will get to see the data pertaining to both the things together in a one particular glance. Can you make it out that desktops are far better than the mobiles? As far as the desktops are concerned, the average CTR is mobiles, sorry, I'm sorry, the mobiles are far better than the desktops. As far as the mobiles are concerned, average CTR is 7.2%. So for every 100 impressions that are given on a mobile phone, I am getting 7.2 clicks on an average, which is pretty good, and I am landing on the fourth page when it comes to mobile. So what am I what decision can I make out of this? That I need to be performing well on the mobile phones. A lot of people are coming through the mobile phones. My website needs to be mobile responsive. I cannot afford to have my website not look good on the mobile phone, or not operatable on the mobile phone, is what I can gauge out of this. So I will have to make my website mobile friendly, and so that it looks good on the mobile phone using Elementor. And we have seen how to make it good looking on the mobile phone through Elementor and the Gutenberg as well. Fine. These are the page builders. So let me just get away with this now, and let's go ahead with the search appearance this time, which is the last option. So we have rich snippets, rich results, videos, and web light results. I'll just show it to you for videos. Though not many videos are there in the website, so I just got 3 impressions. That is it. Rich snippets is something that is a huge topic. It will take another day's time. We'll be covering it in the later part of the course, and a bit complicated, but not all that complicated. Also, does not require coding language at all. But then we'll be doing it through the help of a particular website with the name Technical SEO, and there are plugins also meant for that. I'll just move on to the next section now. What is the next section? The next section is URL inspection. Now, imagine a scenario. You have spent a lot of time making a particular blog. You have spent a lot of time making a particular blog. There are 10 days that you have actually spent making a particular blog, and the blog is exceptionally well. You have targeted the relevant keywords, you have found out the keywords through keyword planner, and everything for that particular blog, as far as the blog is concerned, is pretty much okay, and you have spent your time, energy, everything for that matter, making the images, making the videos, and making the content, writing the content, putting the apt keywords and finding them, and now it is the time for you to put it in within your website. Fine, it is a time for you to put it in within your website. Now, after you put it in within your website, what is going to be your next goal? Would you just stop it? Would you just stop thinking about it, or do you still aspire to have something happening with, as far as that particular blog is concerned? You would require to have that blog be shown on Google's search engine as early as possible. You want that particular blog should be appearing on Google search engine as early as possible. You would need to submit it to Google saying that I have made a particular blog. Please come and see it. Please come and check it, and start showing it on your search engine. Start showing it on the search engine. Have the traffic coming onto my website through your search engine. So all those who are looking for those kind of keywords out of which I have made this particular blog, I want all those people who are searching with those kind of queries to be coming and visiting my website and this blog of mine, which I have just published, because I have spent my time and energy onto it. Like you complete a particular home, the construction is already made. What is the next step? You go to the authorities and register it, that the home is completed, give me a completion certificate so that I can just move ahead and stay in that particular home. Similar is the process, that you have made a particular blog, you have to formally register it in within Google. You have to submit it in within Google, asking Google to come and crawl it and index it. What is crawling? Crawling is reading that particular blog. And what is indexing? The crawlers would come and index it, means that they would take a replica of that particular blog along with them and store it in within their database, so that when somebody is looking ahead to find such a blog with their kind of keywords or the search queries, this blog appears in front of them. So I'm just sharing the screen once again. So is the screen visible? Yeah. So once I have made the blog, it is like a formality that I need to do it. I have to submit the blog's URL to Google to actually come and crawl this particular blog and index it. Crawling means reading that particular blog, getting to see what is there in it. And what is indexing? Indexing means taking a replica of that particular blog along with them and storing it in within their own database, so that when somebody searches with such search queries which match the keywords in my particular blog, my blog pops up. Because unless a blog is indexed, unless a URL is indexed, it cannot be shown in the Google search engine results page to the audiences. So you need to get it indexed, and this is a way to get your blog, to get your page, to get your post, to get your article indexed. So what am I gonna do over here is I'll go to URL inspection tool over here, and I would just need to submit the URL that is pertaining to this particular blog of mine, which I have just recently created. So I'll just show it to you how does that happen. So let's say I'll just go to this website of mine, and I'll go to blog section, and I'll open one blog. So let's say this is going to be the blog, all Google updates from the year 2011. This is the blog which I need to submit in within Google Search Console, and I need to invite all the crawlers to come and crawl this particular blog and index it. So I'm gonna just take the URL of this particular blog. I'll control C. I'll just copy this particular URL, and I'll go to this particular search console, to the URL inspection tool. I'm gonna just do control V. I'll just paste this particular URL over here, and then just hit enter. So what it is saying is retrieving data from Google Index. So what it says is that URL is on Google. What does that imply? That means that it is already indexed. It is already covered. See, coverage is coming as green. What does that signify? That it is already submitted and it is already indexed. But in case had it not been indexed, it would have actually taken it as a request for indexing through this particular button. So I would have just click on request indexing, and once I click on request indexing, it will go into the queue, and once the number would come, the Google crawlers would come and crawl it, and then further index it and start showing it up in within their particular website. So that is what the use of this particular tool is, which is URL inspection. So any particular URL that you want to get indexed, you would need to submit it over here. And for all the obvious reasons, whichever blogs that you are creating, obviously they need to be shown on the Google search engine's result page, and for that reason you need to submit them all over here. If you don't submit them, they would still be crawled and they would still be indexed, but then at the whims and fancies of the Google. Then it will only depend upon when Google would come and crawl it and then start indexing it. So I'll just take another URL, maybe this URL. I'll just try it once again. So I'll just take this particular URL. I'll do control C. I'll go to the URL inspection tool once again, and this time I'm gonna put this particular URL over here, and I'll hit enter. Let's see whether it's been indexed. And again, this is already indexed. URL is on Google. What it says is that it is already indexed, it is already submitted, and it is already indexed. However, you, in your cases, while you have made a particular blog, it is very essential for you to do it this way, and to basically ensure that it is crawled as well as indexed. Is it clear? Is it clear till now? Okay, so let's move ahead. Let's move to the coverage. So what is coverage? In coverage, I see basically that whether a particular page is facing some issue as far as getting index is concerned, and if at all it is facing some issue, what is the issue like? So over here, all sorts of errors with respect to the indexing of a particular page are gonna reflect it over here. So as it says that there are 0 errors. In case there are errors, I obviously need to resolve them, and I would need to check them out. But however, normally would not tend to have any errors as far as the coverage is concerned. But coverage is more towards the indexing. If a particular page cannot be indexed due to particular reason, that reason is what you would come to know over here in this particular section. So as you can see that there are 37 valid pages, and excluded are 22. Fine. So let's move on to the next section, which is site maps. So what are site maps? What are maps rather, first of all? So maps are basically something that helps in the navigation. in navigating they would help you. Yeah, so you go to a particular sector, you get to see a particular map while you're just entering that particular sector. And what does that help you with? That helps you in locating a particular place. Maybe you want to just find out where the market is. So with the help of a particular map, you can easily find out where this market is, where to go from and where to land, is what you can easily come to know through the maps. And site maps is also the same only. It is just that these maps are for your website, and they would actually help the crawlers when Google crawlers would come and visit your website. If they would come and visit your website to crawl your website, these site maps are gonna help them find out which section of your website is located where. What is located where is what they would be able to easily locate through the help of the site maps. So they would basically help the crawlers crawl through your website in a very efficient manner. And for the site maps, all you need to do is you need to go into your particular website. And again, there is this plugin with the name Yoast, which is all meant for increasing the SEO of your website, and which is all meant for the all undertaking all the SEO activities pertaining to the posts and the pages of your website. Again, it is going to help you creating the sitemap in the easiest, most way. You don't have to do anything else. It will create the sitemap for you. All you have to do is just submit it over here. So Yoast is one of the finest plugins as far as SEO is concerned. You have seen that it is not only helping you verify your ownership in Search Console. It helped you earlier as far as the blog was concerned. It helped you resolving all those readability issues. It helped you resolve SEO related issues, be it the alt text is missing or any kind of interlinking that is missing. It was pointing out everything simultaneously. So let's go on to our website, and let's see how to create the sitemaps. And then we will eventually land into the Search Console, and we will submit it in within the Search Console. So in my Search Console, as it is already submitted, so no point, I cannot do that once again. But let's share the screen, and let's do it. So Kunal, if you can just share the screen. Yeah, it's visible. Yeah. So just go to Yoast. Yeah. And now in Yoast, just go to features. Now just go to XML sitemaps down below. Click on the question mark. Just click on the first link. See the XML sitemap. Now just go to the URL up above. At the top of the in the URL section, just go to that particular URL. Uh, just go to this URL.
Sitemap.org.
com slash sitemap underscore index dot xml. Just take the later portion after the slash. Control C. Just copy this. Now just click on submit. Yeah. So as you can see, the sitemap is submitted properly. It says sitemap submitted successfully. So this is how you would need to submit the sitemap. You need to go to Yoast. You need to go to settings. You need to go to features. Just go to the XML sitemap section. Click on the question mark, and a particular page would be open. You just need to go to the URL section at the top and take the after slash portion out of that URL and put it over here and just click on submit, and that is what it is. And the sitemap is generated. Sitemap for a particular website is going to be in the XML format. Sitemap is going to be in the XML format. Now, what is the issue? It says couldn't fetch. Just take it once. Just paste it once again. Just do Control V once again. Just click on submit. Yeah, so it's got submitted. Got it. Just click on got it. So just click on the sitemap once again. Just click down below underscore.
Sir,
Just click over here. Sitemap could not be read. Just click on the three dots. Remove sitemap. Click on remove. So it's already removed. Go again over there. So sitemap underscore index dot xml. Yeah. So just copy this. Just copy this once again. The last portion only, and just paste it. Click on submit. Yeah, got it. So now, as you can see, the status is success. So it means that it has been successfully put in within the Google's search console. You have submitted the sitemap over here, and it will help the crawlers crawl through. Fine. So this is how you are going to create the sitemap, and you are gonna put it in within the search console. So is it clear to all of you? Is it clear? This
yes,
is
sir.
it. You just need to go to Yoast. Yoast is gonna assist you with every activity pertaining to search engine optimization. Fine. So with this, now I'll just take the screen from you, and I'll just share my content once again. So I will just come onto my screen. So Neha is asking what is the use of site maps. So Neha, like any map, is helping the navigator to navigate through a particular market or particular place. Similarly, these sitemaps are going to help the crawlers locate which section of website is located where. They will help the crawlers locate various sections of your website, and they will help and make it easy for the crawlers to crawl your website as easily as possible, because they come with a budget. They have a crawl budget, and they have a limited resources to crawl your website. So in order to make the optimum use of the crawl budget, you basically submit the site map so that they crawl it in the best possible manner, and make the best use of the crawl budget. So moving on to the next section. Next section is removals. So in case you have certain sections of your website or some particular section of your website which is which is what you want to remove temporarily, you don't want it to be coming on Google search bar or search results page rather. So you can submit such URLs over here in within this particular section. You will just click on new request and you can submit the URL over here. So let's say you have a particular URL and you don't want the people to be visiting that particular URL for a certain amount of time. You want to temporarily remove the URL. So you can do that submitting that particular URL over here and just clicking on remove this URL only, or you can go ahead with remove all the URLs with the prefix, like in case there are several URLs which have a same prefix and you want to remove all of them temporarily, you can just use the second option and just put the prefix over here, and all the URLs carrying the same very prefix are gonna get removed. Fine. So all you have to do is just put the URL over here, like I have this URL over here. I'll just come over here, I will put the URL and I will just click on remove this URL in case I just want to remove single URL temporarily. In case I want to remove a lot of URLs, then obviously all those URLs which have the same very prefix can be put under this particular section, and I click on next and I can just submit them accordingly, and all the URLs are gonna get removed temporarily. Outdated section, in case you have certain outdated URLs, you can submit them. Fine. Now let's move on to certain other sections of the Search Console. Core Web Vitals. So not much of the significant. Basically, let's move on to mobile usability now. So what it says is, whether your website is compatible on the mobile phones, whether can it work properly on the mobile phones, and the usability of your website on the mobile phone, whether is it apt or not, and in case there are any errors, those errors would be reflected over here. Like in my case, there are three errors which are coming. Text too small to read. On a mobile phone, the text is very small. Somebody on the mobile phone would not be able to read it. The second error is clickable elements. So if ever I have a button or a link or something like that, so all of them are very close to each other. If somebody clicks on one, there is a possibility that the other might also get clicked. So that is another issue that it is raising for my website. And the third one is content wider than screen. So there are at times, the screen is falling narrow and the content is superseding it. So all these are the three things that are coming up as errors over here. I have checked it onto my particular website. It is still okay. So I have tried to resolve them as far as possible, but this is how you would get to know all these other errors which are pertaining to your website being non mobile responsive. So you have to get to know the errors, and thereby you can go ahead and resolve it basically through an Elementor or any other page builder. Products would show you anything pertaining to the products. In case you are selling of certain products, those would be reflected over here. Any issues with them would be reflected over here. Rich snippets are additional data that are reflected or that come along with your search results. A lot of times when you search for recipes, you also get to see the ratings, the time it takes to make a particular recipe, the amount of calories that are involved in that particular recipe. So what are that? Those are all rich snippets. So I'll just give you a fair idea what are rich snippets, though we are gonna cover it in detail, but then as of now I'll just show it to you what are rich snippets. So I'll just type a recipes for pav bhaji. Let's say this is the result. This is the query. Now I just come over here. So can you all see the screen? I have typed recipes for pav bhaji. That is the search query that I have put, and you can see that apart from all these conventional things, there's an image that is coming over here, and there is a star rating that is coming over here, and there is 4.1 4.8 rating, 120 votes, 40 minutes it will take to cook this particular recipe, and the amount of calories that are involved is also coming by. So what is that? That is rich snippet. All these are rich snippets. See, star rating, votes, minutes, all these are rich snippets. They are coming all because of the rich snippets. So wherever rich snippets are involved, Google is going to show it to them. Obviously, rich snippets gain a lot of CTR. They increase a lot of CTR. Why? Because people tend to click more upon such results which give additional information, like rating, like votes, like minutes it takes to cook a particular recipe. Somebody who is going through a lot of search results would obviously want to click on such a result which is giving you so many of the other information apart from the conventional ones, which are these and these. So obviously somebody would prefer to click on results which have these kind of ratings, which have these kind of votes, which have these kind of minute it takes to cook this particular recipe and the calories involved. So people they tend to gain attraction over the various other search results. They also increase the real estate. What is real estate? The amount of space a particular result is acquiring. They also tend to enhance that with the help of the rich snippets. So people would tend to give them more clicks rather than the conventional ones. So that is why they tend to gain more CTR for you, because the number of impressions would be obviously the stable, but then the number of clicks are gonna increase. Why they are gonna increase? Because of these rich snippets. They tend to gain attraction. They tend to gain clicks from the people, and these are known as rich snippets. So we are gonna learn it in the sections to come. Anything pertaining to the rich snippets going haywire or any particular errors are gonna be reflected over here into this particular section. Then side link search box, in case there is a search box over there into your website, so that is also be shown over here. Let's move on to these sections which wherein you would get to know if there is some penalty Google has levied because of something wrong that you have done with respect to your search results or your website. So Google is going to levy you some kind of penalty. So any such penalty, if Google has levied on your website, would be reflected in the manual actions. Over here Google is going to tell you that we have taken this action against you or your website because you have done this particular thing. This is something wrong that you have done. Because of that, we have put a manual action on you. So anything that you think that Google might catch you for, and you have some idea or you have some inhibitions, or you think that something is going wrong, and I'm doing something wrong maybe, and you just want to see and have a fair idea if Google has taken some action. So you would come to this particular action, manual action column, and you will get to see all such data. So as of now it says no issues detected. That means that Google is fine with my website. It has not taken any action against my website. There is nothing wrong that I have done till now. Fine. Then comes the security issues. So if there are any kind of security related issues, they are going to be populated over here in this particular section. So my website does not have any security related issues as well. Then comes these sections, international targeting. So in case your website is targeting some international customers, you can use this particular section, and you can basically flag your website, and you can target the users in that particular country. You can actually tell the search console that you are gonna target this particular country's visitors as well through this particular search console and this section of search console. You can do that. Basically all you need to do is just come over here into international targeting, target users in United States or whichever country you want to choose, and just click on save, and thereby you are giving the information to the search engine that you are gonna target the people in within this particular country. So am I clear till now? Any confusion till now, guys? So again, you have messages section over here. In within the messages section, you would have something like an email would come into in within your Gmail account. This again is a messages section, which is through which Google is gonna communicate with you regarding your website. What are the issues pertaining to the mobile usability is what is a part of this particular thing. What are the issues detected with the mobile usability? Two mails I have got on these very dates. These are the messages that I have received through Google, and it is saying that whitehatways.com is now associated with Google Analytics properties, because I have attached it with Google Analytics also. So that is what the messaging is all about. I have attached the search console along with the Google Analytics, and that is why this particular message is coming. So through manual actions, so through security issues, through message panel, what is it doing? It is basically connecting with you pertaining to your website, so that you come to know every possible detail pertaining to your website, so that you get to know if anything needs to be done beyond what you have been doing with respect to your website, so that you know if there are any security issues or anything that you have done wrongly, you would get to know in manual actions. So this is one of the places through which Google is gonna talk to you pertaining to your website, because you are the webmaster to your website. Fine. Then so this is the learn more. Then comes just 1 minute. So these are the web tools. In case you want to just read it and go through this particular section, you can go ahead and learn it. Add experience report. Not much to do with this. URL parameters is something that again we are gonna cover in this particular course, which would we would be covering in within prior to in within Google Analytics rather. So let's leave it for now. Now let's go to the links, which is one of the most important section of Google Search Console. So let's go to the link section. So in the link section, I find it out which all are the external links, which all are the internal links. What are external links? External links are those links which are pointing to another website. Internal links are those links which are pointing to another page in my own website. So in within this section, Google is basically pointing out which all are the external links and which all are the internal links. So these are basically the internal links that are there. These are the top linked pages through which to which I'm getting a link from outside. So basically these are the pages to which I am getting linked from outside, from various other domains. So various other websites, various other domains are linking to these pages, and that is why they are appearing under the external links. So as you can see, these all are the pages which are getting the external links from outside. So these are the pages which are getting externally linked from other domains. Maybe some other website has some content. In within that content there is a particular word onto which they have made a link, and that link is pointing to my website. As you can see, it is showing top target pages. What is target pages? Target is the destination pages. So obviously these are the pages which are getting those links coming from outside. So that is why they are coming under the external links. Fine. And similarly, what are internal links? Internal links are the those links which are basically going from one page of your website to another page of your website only. So those are known as internal links. So these are the top internally linked pages. So these are the top internally linked pages. These are the top externally linked pages. These are the pages, the external link pages, which are getting links from outside, from various other domains apart from my domain. And these are the the internal link pages which are linking from one page to another page in within my website. Now, just come down and you would see top linking sites. So what does that convey? This conveys that these are those sites which are basically linking to my website. These are those domains which have something in their pages, or maybe a post or some word onto which they have made a link, and that link is pointing to my website. So these are top linking websites which are linking to my website, which are referring their people, their audiences to my website. They have some link onto which, when somebody clicks, lands onto my website. And that is why they are also known as linking websites, because they are linking to me, they are diverting their audiences onto my websites. So all these are top linking websites. I need to know which all websites are linking to me, why are they linking to me. So from here I can actually get to know why are the websites linking to me, which all are the websites which are linking to me, and why are they bothered to link to me. So from here I can easily gauge which all websites are diverting their audiences to my website through their content. Then comes top linking text. So what is linking text? This is the text onto which some link has been made. Like most of the times what you see, click here, and click here would have a link. When somebody clicks on click here, the person lands onto another website. So click here is what? The linking text. It is also known as anchor text. So these all are the top linking text which are prevalent, or which are prevailing onto various other websites, which when clicked makes the user land onto my website. So these are the top anchor texts. These are the top linking texts. If you want to click on more, you can get to see all the kinds of linking text, all the kinds of text which are basically used to divert the people onto my website. These are the texts onto which these links on other websites are made. So these are basically the anchor text. You also call them anchor text. Linking text is also known as anchor text. Now, apart from that, you have the settings section over here. So under the settings, it would just signify that the ownership is verified. You are the owner of this website. You are the verified. We have seen how to verify us. And then users and permissions. This is the website name, the address, and indexing crawler. In case you want to check out what is the name of the crawler, it's Googlebot Desktop, and property added on this very date. So this is the date when I actually added it. So for Kunal, it is going to be today's date. Fine. So with this, I am ending up this session. The Google Search Consoles is all complete as of now. We are yet to see how the data populates in your respective accounts, and it would make a lot of sense once you start having a lot of data coming in your respective search console accounts. Then you would be able to make more sense out of it, because those would be your websites, that data would be your data. Which all blogs have you created, which all backlinks have you created, or which all people are linking to you. So that would start making more sense once you start getting the data in your own respective websites rather than reading my data. Fine. But I have given you the entire search console overview, what it is, what it is used for, and why is it useful to you being the webmaster. So any confusion till now? Any confusion? Fine. With this, I am ending up this session. We will be meeting up tomorrow and we'll be taking it further. Fine.